the Grade 1 Haskell Invitational, field of 7 running a mile and an eighth. The first $1 million win, and you're in for the Breeders' Cup Classic. Just the second one in North America this year.
The Haskell is such a historical race.
Here's a filly for the ages, a Haskell legend, Rachel Alexandra did it!
It's the 51st running, and we've seen so many champions come out of the race.
American Pharoah won by 3, he could have won by 20.
It's the type of race that really could make or break the horse, so they're trying to make a name for themselves. It is a great stepping stone to the Breeders' Cup Classic.
If you took all the 3-year-olds and ranked them, I mean, Good Magic would have to be #1 right now.
When we come to the race, we're waiting to see, does Good Magic really perform like the 2-year-old champion that he was last year and gave it his all against Justify? Are we going to see a new shooter on the line?
On November 3rd, the best horses in the world will enter the starting gate for the $6 million Breeders' Cup Classic. Devoted owners and trainers will spend the next 5 months competing in races across the globe in order to win a coveted spot into the Breeders' Cup Classic.
Now, don't run now!
This is their story and their dream. They are all in the road to the Classic. It was announced today that Justify, the undefeated chestnut colt, who became the 13th Triple Crown winner, has retired.
He won't be racing here today. In fact, he won't be racing anytime soon. Justify has been retired.
Justify's career lasted 112 days of racing, with a total of only 6 races. His first race was in February, with the promise of bigger things to come. He then won the Kentucky Derby, the Preakness, and the Belmont Stakes. Retiring as a Triple Crown winner in July, he was the second horse in history to be an undefeated Triple Crown winner, along with Seattle Slew in 1977. And it's estimated that his breeding rights have been valued at over $60 million. As his jockey Mike Smith said, "There was never a time I rode it that I felt like I was going to get beat." So what does this mean for Justify retiring? Opportunity.
The Preakness trophy, well, the original is a wonderful, beautiful trophy that was done by Louis Tiffany. And supposedly, they said that if we won 3 times, they would give us the original. So I have 2. And then we have the Haskell trophy. This one is Rachel Alexandra, and we're hoping to get one for Good Magic as well. I love to win. I really love to win, so I love to get those awards. I love trophies. I love crossing the finish line 6 lengths in front of the other horses. I'm a very competitive person. I love to win.
Barbara Banke, she's Team Stone Street. What she's done with all the Stone Street horses, I mean, just one after another. Every time you see the Stone Street Silks, you know that they mean business.
I'm the owner of Stone Street Thoroughbred Farms. Yeah, what a mare. We're at the home farm at Stone Street, and this is where we have our mares and our babies until they're yearlings, and then they go over to our yearling farm to be trained as Grade 1 winners, Grade 1 producers. Who's our superstars?
There's just so many potential good ones here with the way that they're hot after those curlings. This is a Malibu Moon colt.
Wish you had ovaries. I'm in charge of our family's equine resources, so buying, selling, racing. I knew nothing about horses when I started out. I was a lawyer that went into the wine business with my husband, Jess Jackson. He and I worked very closely together in the wine business, and he was driving me crazy with a little micromanaging. And I said, why don't you get a hobby? So he said, okay. And so he went to a sale and he bought half of a racehorse. And because he never did anything in small measure, he picked up a number of other horses. And then he had to pick up a farm. And then he had to fill the farm. And then he bought 2 more farms in Kentucky and a farm in Florida. He's walking with a purpose. I became more involved when my husband passed away in 2011, and now I've taken it over. I found my personal passion in the horse industry in the year 2007 with Curlin, who was a fabulous, fabulous racehorse. And every time we went to the races with him, it wasn't, is he gonna win? It's, what's he gonna do today?
Curlin in an absolutely stylish performance. Curlin and Robbie Alvarado win it easy to Hodgman.
Is he gonna break a track record? It was really, really fun. So who wouldn't get into the horse business with Curlin?
Barbara's a wonderful person. She's an advocate for the sport. She's very generous to the sport, and because my horses were raised on our farm, it was only natural that we get together. Our families get along really great. We love being together with them. It's a lot of fun, a lot of camaraderie. It's good to have good people surrounding yourself.
Wow,
This one's our
Scarlet Tango?
Curlin. You look really pretty. There are a number of prominent women in the horse business, and it's a growing sorority of owners and people that are influential. Sometimes I feel that maybe I don't get respect because people think that I'm a nice, easygoing person, and I really am fairly easygoing, but I definitely have goals and strategies for the business. There's good back legs. But it doesn't bother me. I mean, sometimes if people don't see you coming, it's better for you.
So we're here back to Oklahoma track, and in the backyard kind of faces the practice track here at Saratoga. You know, I just sit here with a cup of coffee and the paper and watch hundreds of world-class horses practice here on the Oklahoma track, and there's a whole, row of owners here. You kind of see the same people every day, and there's nothing like it. Typical route we take every morning coming from Fifth Ave. You'll see all the guys on my street and all their colors and all the carts coming rolling through here. Everybody going to visit their trainers, their horses. A lot of fun.
Bob Edwards, Bob and his E5 Racing has done something historic. In their first 2 years of ownership, they've won 3 Breeders' Cup races.
A guy who's had all the success in the world so far might end up in the Breeders' Cup with good magic. We'll see what happens.
My partner, Bob Edwards, he is fantastically lucky, and he's only been in the business 3 years.
I owned a pharmaceutical company and sold it, and I was the youngest guy golfing, the oldest guy surfing, and my wife did not want me home. My wife's family's from Saratoga, and we came to a family reunion, which we do every year. Went to the track, and my buddy took us to the backside to show us one of his horses, and my wife said, "Don't buy a horse." When I left, I had no intention to buy a horse. Long story short, I met Mike Ryan. Mike kind of picked out a horse. He thought it'd be a good kind of starter horse for us. We ended up buying that horse, New Money Honey, and New Money Honey won the Breeders' Cup GU Turf.
It is New Money Honey.
You guys have the best in the business. I know this is your first year in racing, and as you can see, it's an easy game. Congratulations.
That was my first year going into the Breeders' Cup, not actually even knowing what the Breeders' Cup was. And that's how E5 got started. Where's Mom? What's up?
How are you?
E5 is 5 Edwards. My wife Christine, my daughter Cassidy, my son Riley, my daughter Delaney, and myself. That's the 5 of us, E5. It's a family operation. So all my girls have the horseshoe rings. When I first started, I couldn't read the racing form. I was your sitting on a cooler, drinking a can of beer at a picnic table guy, picking horses by the name, and just kind of, every once in a while, I got lucky. Now we have one of the top 3-year-old colts in the country, Good Magic. So, going into Haskell, hoping that we move forward and progress, and make sure that the horse is doing everything we plan on doing and shoot for the Breeders' Cup.
Okay, you got Roman Union first. Pony's so cool, he can put on the bridle himself. You want to put it on? You want to put it on? There you go. I first came around to Monmouth Park before I was even 16. No biting. 16, you can get a license and you can be an exercise rider here. My father gave me the opportunity to not follow in his footsteps, to be a steam fitter. And he said if you really wanted to pursue your dream. So I get my trainer's license I do quite well. 2000, I start winning some races. By 2005, I'm the leading trainer at Monmouth Park. Win it again at 2006. I hook up during those 2 years with George Hall. George really has helped me and elevated me to get into a national spotlight. We got a very close relationship, and we have stakes placed in over 151 races. 7-15 dice game, $20 makes you holler, winner take all. You get 3 chips, make sure the pot is right. New shooter, you're up. Got a lot of guys, we gotta get going. Rolling 3. You're back in. Alvin, what do you got? Left, right, or center? Okay, we gotta go. Let's go. For Monmouth Park, the Haskell is our Kentucky Derby. But without Justified, there is a little bit of a hole in the older division to say for the Breeders' Cup Classic. Not to say that it's wide open, but it's wide open. We're feeling good about our horse. We just, I can't worry about the competition. Nothing taken from Good Magic. Any horse that qualifies for the Kentucky Derby, they're that less than 1% of the 35,000 horses born each year. They're the elite of the elite, but he does have the target on his back. We're all trying to beat Good Magic.
This is the Breeders' Cup Challenge Series. Welcome, everyone, to Monmouth Park. I'm Lafitte Pinkai. So much excitement here today for Monmouth's signature event, the Haskell Invitational.
Hey, let's go, Haskell! Let's go, Haskell! BRAVAZO, baby!
Ah, we're good. We're the first one in the paddock. All right, we're all set. Where's my little man? All right. Say go, Roman Union.
You want to go paddock?
Yeah, sure.
Hey, how many in your group? Paddock, enjoy. You're good, no, go. I'm covered. Good Magic, right guys? Good Magic?
Yeah.
Just a random group of a family with kids to kind of, we had some extra paddock passes, trying to bring new fans to the sport of kings, the best sport in the world, and they're here having a good time. It's awesome. You know, to get to the Breeders' Cup, it takes a lot of luck. Jose, those are my initials, man. That's a good sign. Everybody here has unbelievable talent in their staff to pick horses, to breed horses, to find horses, to race horses. We all use the same colony of jockeys, but to get to that point, you have to have an unbelievable athlete, and you just need a lot of luck, and it's going to take a lot more luck to get there.
Mile and nice in distance, a program just like that.
I love my horse, Good Magic. He's a homebred. He is the coolest horse. He's such a nice horse. He can be led around like a puppy dog through crowds of people, and he's really fast.
With Good Magic, we've known this horse since the day he was born, and my mother has done a beautiful job racing him, getting him trained up, and getting him competing.
There's nothing like this sport. Whether you own a piece of a horse or you're betting on a horse, that minute 30 of adrenaline that you get is like nothing else. That's our tradition every time before the race. It's a buzzer beater shot. It's that last score at the Super Bowl. Every race is like that.
Look out over this crowd. It's fabulous. God willing, all the horses come out of it in good health, and I'll be happy if we could finish strong.
We're in the gate. And they're off in the Haskell Invitational. Roaming Union is sent hard.
Let him relax, let him relax.
Good Magic came away smoothly. Roaming Union joined by Good Magic. BRAVAZO is down at the rail in third, and the New Jersey bred Golden Brown fourth by 2.5 lengths with 5 furlongs to run. Good Magic gets a beautiful trip in second, and BRAVAZO's a length and a half behind him third into the far turn. Roaming Union's been there every step of the way. Good Magic moving in now effortlessly, and Good Magic comes to collar him around the far turn. Good Magic takes control with 1/4 mile to go. He opens up a 3-length lead on BRAVAZO, and Good Magic's clear by 4. Come on! But the champ is back! Good Magic cruises home in the Betfair.com Haskell Invitational under Jose Ortiz.
No Justify, No problem for Good Magic. Sharp, razor sharp. He wins, and he's in the Breeders' Cup Classic.
The favorite ran a great race, so he deserves to win. He's the class of the field.
That was awesome.
I mean, the favorite's the favorite, was much the best. I just wish he would have taken a little bit more time to pass us. But he's an awesome horse.
Winning in, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Good Magic.
There you go. Hold it up. Hold it up.
Good Magic, he looks like he's ready to go in the Travers, which will be very exciting. That's our next stop. I think his best days are yet to come.
Bob, you are one lucky man, but you also set yourself around some incredible people.
We're going into the Breeders' Cup Classic, which, once again, it's a first for me. These are all firsts for me. And, it's going to be a stressful 3 months, until we get to that point.
Next on All In, the road to the Classic.
The 91st edition of the $1.2 million Whitney Stakes. A win and you're in for the Breeders' Cup Classic.
We blew it over Churchill Downs. Well, we're looking for a little redemption. Here's to backyard heaven.
Go back on the corner.
Mind Your Biscuits is a special horse.
This is obviously the toughest test to date.
Diversify. He's a speed horse. We need him to be quick leaving the gate.
I love the way he's going into the race. He's ready for another battle.
Yeah, it's poured rain for the last 15 minutes, so I hope we like a sloppy track.
There he is, the horse going 2 turns for the first time. He is good, but how much stamina does he have?
Time to put up and shut up.
They're off. Now, Biscuits, now! Now, Joe, run down!